It's going. We're live. You are something else.
Oh,
you can dance.
You can dance. You can dance.
Having the time of your life.
Oh, little girl wants to see the dancing queen.
I'm telling you, y'all, we have great car voices. Great car voices. We're not clearly we are not professional singers, okay? But we like to have fun. Welcome to Coffee and Tea and
me. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today, and we would love to hear from you. So we have the live chat open. So as people would say,
drop it like it's hot.
Woohoo! So, and we'd like to have you join in on the conversation of what do you do for self-care? Self-care,
self-love, and empowerment. Self-care.
Oh, I'm not going to do that. Oops, I already did.
Don't worry, I have more push-ups to do today, so I'll be at the gym later. Man. Face off, sweat on.
Face on. Okay. So, where are we starting today? How was your week? You want to start first?
No, let's start with your week.
Oh dear. Okay.
Because this was my week. Well, more like the last 4 days, but
Yeah. Well, that was just the last 2 minutes.
Last hour. Thank you.
Oh man, this week has been a soft start at the office, and so we're seeing a couple of clients throughout the day, still seeing clients virtually, looking at where things are right now with the business. What things am I going to be changing just in case we have another quarantine? I need to be ready for that. And it's so great to be back in touch with people and I'm such a tactile, touchy person. And I mean, in a good way. So,
touchy feely.
So it's been really good to see people back at the office. And even though distance energy work works fantastic and it's great, it's just great to have that one-on-one in person. On an emotional level, it's been a bit challenging. People come in with their stories and things they're dealing with, and so that's been a bit challenging. And then learning how to navigate through that and making sure I'm clearing my own energy and keeping myself strong and taking care of myself, which is part of the self-care we'll be talking about during this session today. And so I found this week more than not because I'm seeing people more in person, maintaining. Oh, that's when I forgot my water.
Easy killer.
Maintaining my own energy and as well, and keeping myself strong and healthy in the middle of seeing everybody. Not all my staff is back yet. I've only seen one, maybe two people once a week. So from that respect, it's still been tough, and we're not fully 100% open. There's the financial impact of all of that. But I hear there's another stimulus coming this week. Did you hear that too?
So I heard rumor and I didn't believe it.
Yeah, so I just got a text from somebody that it's coming in this week.
No shoo, caca. Yeah. I Googled it the other day and there was like a 2-hour update, and it's supposed to be considerably more than what it was last time if you have kids. So
okay.
If it is coming in this week, that would be great.
Yeah. So overall, I would say it's been a good week in terms of me having my time to journal and my time to take care of myself and make choices and decisions from my highest energy perspective or position, which makes a difference. Because one of the things I was reading is when you're interviewing people or you're out considering business partners and what would that look like, they may look fantastic on paper, but they may not be a great fit energetically for you. So there's different ways of looking at things as you're looking at bringing people on. And so part of what I'm saying was great. I had some really hard decisions to make, and I feel freed up based on the choice I made, the decision I made. So it's been a good week, and of course, each week has its challenges too. So, as Abraham Hicks says, staying in the vortex and finding that place of peace within yourself as you're moving forward and making decisions.
Yeah, that whole vortex thing went out the window this week.
Yeah. And I have a huge support system, which really helps.
Yeah.
I think of like those of you who believe, in Jesus and the Bible, and I say that because I know there's a lot of people with different faiths and background on the program. He had a team of 13. Now, one betrayed him, but he still had a team of 13 to accomplish the things that he wanted to accomplish. You look at Martin Luther King, he had a team of people. He didn't do what he did by himself. It was within his team of people. And so I started really looking at, for me to be successful in what I'm doing and what I'm up to, I need a team of people supporting me, because like we were talking, and I know you're going to share in just a minute, but it's like sometimes as a leader, people think like, yeah, you got this, and you always need to be on. And it's like, well, hey, wait a minute. I'm human just like the next person. I have emotions just like the next person. I have needs just like the rest of the world. And
I crash just like the next person.
Exactly. So how's your week?
Well, if I have to be authentic in the space that we're in, it's
nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the truth. I plead the fifth. No. The week started great. It's been an emotionally rough isn't the word. Last night I'm not gonna cry. Last night I had to reach out to a few people, and I speak on mental illness and wellness a lot because I want people to understand what is appropriate and inappropriate to say to somebody when they're on a high or a low when it comes to a mental illness of some sort. And last night, unfortunately, I experienced some of that with some of the closer people in my realm. And, one of the things that does not help me when I'm on a low or having harmful thoughts is, you're strong, you're going to be just fine. Like, no, I was not strong, and
you weren't fine.
Not at all.
And you didn't know when you would be.
Yeah. And I'm not going to cry. So I started reaching out to as many people as I could and just checking in with other people. For me, checking in with others and seeing how they're doing and see if I can be of service to them in any kind of way, that really helps me get out of my space. And when I realized that reaching out to others are suffering just like I was last night, and I had probably 5 conversations going on at one time, and it dwindled down to ending the night with 2, but I was up until like 2:30 in the morning with one friend in particularly, and we were both in the same space, and I didn't want to go to bed because I didn't know if he was going to be okay or not, and that was terrifying for me. And removing myself from the me portion and focusing on somebody else really helped my energy transition. And then I had another friend who's a veteran who's experiencing homelessness, who's back in Chicago, so I need to help him right now and gather resources. So if anyone out there knows some resources for veterans in Chicagoland experiencing homelessness, please send them to me. I currently am a case manager for a non-for-profit here in New Mexico, and I'll be in Chicago soon, but I only know New Mexico resources. I need people to send me information so I can get this veteran some help, because he also is a disabled veteran. So if you have any information, please send it to me through Messenger so I can get him some information and some assistance. And then just communicating with others and reaching out, honestly, it was so helpful, and it's kind of a double-edged sword because you're feeling like crap and you're feeling like you don't want to be here, and you're feeling like you know your purpose, but you're like, why am I here? Only to reach out to other people who are feeling the exact same way as you are in that very moment, and knowing that you can help each other get through that moment. Before I started reaching out to people, I was, in being authentic in what we're talking about, I was looking for a razor. I just wanted to cut. I wanted to release because I'm so stressed out. But I was able to reach out, and I never used to do that. And I was able to connect with those who could help at least lead and guide me through that moment. And that was beneficial for me. So in the aspects of self-empowerment and self-care for last night, my self-care was reaching out to others and connecting with others and seeing where I could be of service to somebody else and get the focus off of myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. I acknowledge you for that. So how many of you out there are dealing with something similar where you are checking out emotionally or physically, or thinking of self-harm, or thinking of leaving the planet? And this is an interesting topic, because out of the people that I did see in my office this week, there were 5 of them that were on the edge of considering suicide. And so, we talked about what they were dealing with and what was going on. So it's so many people, so many are really struggling. And then there's those that will admit it, and those that, because some people share externally what they're dealing with, but they don't share internally what's going on, because some people hide things inside because they don't want people to really know what they're dealing with, and then things happen. And so I like that what you did, Nicole, is that you actually reached out to people.
Jennifer Zahari says she just sent a link of resources for vets in Chicago's Hearing Me, Breathe, Be Kind. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah. So, so, if you're one of the ones that are struggling and you're just not sure where to go or what to do, and reaching out, because not everybody's going to be your support system, and
not everybody knows what to say.
Well, I was going to say too, not everybody's trained or exactly knows what to say. But then I think part of it too is sometimes when you're in that space, you don't even know what to ask for yourself, to even say, this is what I need from you. This is what I need to hear you say to me. And so,
I'm not there because I don't know. I know what not to say, but in those moments, and I was explaining this to you earlier, sometimes you just want somebody there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's okay.
To just let you know you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah.
And that you're not alone. And hearing that you're so strong and you'll get through it, it's like, I know I'm strong, but I'm also human. I can't take on the world by myself, you know?
And I find too, when people say that, it seems like it puts more weight on you than helping to relieve some of that weight, which then makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer says, what I've learned is just being present and not having to say a thing. I love you too, Jennifer. Thank you. Here goes that tissue thing. So in the space of self-empowerment and self-love, because I was feeling so bad the last few days, we were actually supposed to go to the kids' godparents' house, but I've been so behind on homework that I just needed to be home and focus on that. And even focus has been a struggle as of late. But so what we did was I woke up and I did some homework, and then Jazzy and I drove our 25 minutes to the nearest store. Y'all, I really live in the middle of nowhere.
No, it's like, y'all, I really miss being home because things are just right around the corner.
Yes. I have a second interview on Tuesday. Praise the Lord. So we drove 25 minutes to the local store and we grabbed some dye. She's been wanting to do her hair blue, and so is JJ. So, and my roots were like I can hide it because I have brown hair and the red was fading. So I'm like, okay, I have a second interview. I can't look like a hot mess. So, so we went and came back, and then we started the hair dyeing process. Now, for those of you that have bleached your hair and you have mixed children, you know that that's a long process. So I did Jazzy's hair. I went back to homework, and then I did the second step of her hair. I went back to homework, and then she did my hair, and then I went back to homework, and then finished my homework and my reading. And all week long, I've been like, I don't understand this. I'm not going to do it. And that's what I did. I didn't do it because I got so overwhelmed and so frustrated. And then finally, I just sat myself down, and then we got our new phones, and all hell broke loose after that. Like there was zero focus happening at all because we got iPhones and we're like, toys. And I told the kids, I'm like, okay, mom needs a safe box because this shit needs to get put away. Like
mom is geeking out.
Yeah, I was totally weak. So I finished my homework that I needed to get done. And then after 2 cups of coffee, because I went live and I was like, look like a zombie. I went back and watched it. I'm like, oh God, I look high and I'm not. And so I had 2 cups of coffee, got everything done, knocked it out. And then I was like, let's go. So then we did our nails. These are dollar store nails. They were $4.
Wow.
They got rhinestones, and it's a lot better.
These are my nails. They're natural.
Most of the time, but sometimes I just want to feel pretty because I'm always in the gym or I'm at work and we don't dress up because, we don't want our bodies to go out of the norm. So yeah, it's nice to just kind of gussy up every now and again. And that's another thing for self-care I do. I had a full face on today. Had is the key word before I spent a half hour crying with you. Now it's all on tissue.
You're beautiful with or without, so that don't matter. So what's your biggest takeaway for self-care for yourself?
Self-care for myself is one, acknowledging where I'm at. Acknowledging that I'm not okay or that I need to take a break. I need to cut back. My anxiety is too high. So one is acknowledgement. It's the mindfulness that I talk about all the time, being mindful about where you're at. Because it is a 3-step process. It's being mindful, and then once you're mindful of where you're at and where you need to be, then it goes into self-love and acceptance. Like, okay, I know I'm perfectly whole and complete, even though I feel this way. And I know that I'm going to get through this, but this is just a low moment. So what can I do in the meantime to shift that? So for me, it was spending time with my kids. It was, kind of multitask. Oh, we also had a barbecue with the neighbors. I
was going to say chasing the chickens and goats around.
The rooster. They tried to get the rooster too, and they put it in their hen to see if it would. No, it's a free range rooster. It's like, no, I don't want any part of this. So he's just roaming the streets, cawing at everybody, yeah. So, and then, reaching out to others and knowing that others are not going to know what to say at times if they're not experiencing mental illness or if they're not trained in that way. I think what I need to get better at is reaching out to those who do know what to say. Jen says, from an outsider's perspective, you showing up, speaking your truth being authentic is so beautifully real. I love seeing how open and real you are. Sure, makeup and hair done is nice, but you are truly beautiful soul in how you show up all the time. I don't want to cry more. Thank you so much, Jennifer. It means a lot. My mission is to let people know that it's okay to be broken, and it's okay to achieve your goals and your dreams while you are broken, and that just being self-aware and acknowledging where you're at and having that support system, like Shelly was talking about, having that team. I'm finally building my team of amazing support. And let me tell you, the transition is a lot different than being around the complainers and the naysayers, because the transition just in the last few months alone has been empowering to me. And when leaders and when mentors and those who are far above me are where I'm at, and they're telling me it's okay, I've been there, or I've been through those situations, and look, I've made it through, and I'm still successful despite the fact I've been through X, Y, and Z. So just being self-aware and acknowledging, yes, this is something I'm going through. Yes, this is going to be a constant, never-ending battle, but that doesn't mean I can't achieve what I want to achieve, and I can't empower others, and I can't speak to others, and I can't help others grow just because I experienced mental illness, you know? So
self-care, we can look at it a couple different ways. So self-care can be for the body.
That's why you see me doing push-ups all the time.
Self-care can...
Wait, what was that face? That was like, oh God.
You do it on the floor, I do it on the wall.
There's nothing wrong with that. We had an airman in basic training, Sola Prakar, and we worked with her every day. We started on, she couldn't pass the push-up test. We worked with her every day to make sure she passed her physical test. Started on the wall, worked our way to the bedboard, worked our way to the bed, worked our way to the knees. Doesn't matter where you start as long as you start.
Yeah. But I'm starting with my belly button. But before I get into that,
please get into that. And
you know, like in a minute. So I look at self-care. There's the body, and then there's the mind, and then there's the spirit, and then there's the soul. And all three you can work with uniquely different, but it's the finding the balance for all of them to have you find your I'll say your happy space, or the balancing of the scales. And you know, when you're getting really good in one, the other one may fall off. So is it really going to be completely 100% balanced? Probably not. But I think it's a goal that a lot of us aspire to. And so some things, and I'll get to the belly button, some things that I like to do for, especially now that we're dealing with, I'll say COVID and just being bacteria minded, is, as a lot of you know, I work with Nature Sunshine products. If you want more details on that, just drop it in the chat. Let me know. I'll get it out to you. But they have a product called Silver Shield, which is a gel. And they came out with a new one called BioShield. And I love it because I don't know how many products you guys use and your hands just feel dry or cracked or flaky, and or it's left sticky, but it looks like this. So it's pretty clear, and you can actually use this all over your body. So like if you have a scrape or something, you got sunburn, I like putting it on my arms because it actually has aloe in it and some other moisturizing agents. And so that's the Silver Shield.
So is it like when you use hand sanitizer and then you randomly find out that you have a cut on your hand and you're like, ah?
Well, actually, it is a hand sanitizer without the alcohol. So you don't have the, ah! So if which is great if you do have a scrape or scratch or burn or something like that. So this stuff is awesome. Now they also have it as a liquid that I buy the 32 ounces of. I take a couple swigs of that a day because Silver Shield, it's colloidal silver. So, because it kills viruses, it kills bacteria, and it does a lot of amazing things for the body and boosting the immune system. So, I'll take a couple swigs of my 32 ounces, last me about a month a day, but I swish it around my mouth because it helps keep your gums healthy, helps keep your teeth strong. What were you going to say?
I'm just intrigued at the moment.
And for those of you,
what are you putting in your body?
Huh?
Just like, what the hell are you putting in your body?
Well, see, that's part of my self-care routine.
I'm intrigued. I just never heard of it.
Yeah, well, hey,
Vital silver over there. You're gonna be a werewolf,
or it might turn like, ooh, fangs. So, now this, okay. So I'm gonna say I'm also about oral care because if you have gum disease or periodontal disease or tooth issues, it can cause heart issues and cause imbalances in your body. So I also like to use a clove. It's a tincture. And so besides brushing,
what?
It's a clove tincture, not because some people use it as an essential oil. But I like to take like a dropper, maybe not so much, half a dropper of this. And I love a water pick. I will floss, but I love the water pick because it helps to strengthen the gums. And it actually gets like clove is also good for gum pain or tooth pain. So I use that as a floss in my mouth. So it helps keep things fresh and clean. And
Fresh and so clean.
So that's just part of my self-care routine. And I'm all up in people, even though we're wearing masks.
Yes, you are all up in people, all right.
Well, I got a tube for that. So, yes.
Small and a medium size too.
Well, and that's a conversation on another day.
She's the Fecal Fairy, just so you know.
And if you want to know what that is, ask me in the chat.
Yes.
So the other product that I'm absolutely in love with, that's the Nature Sunshine product, is Kemp. And this is a CBD oil with herb cream. And I've had a lot of neck and head injuries. And so I'm almost, my mobility and flexibility has gotten so much better. But the cream actually looks like this. And it has kind of a menthol smell, but when you rub it in, it's non-greasy. So I just rub it in and massage it in the areas that are stressed out. We'll just keep it going here, folks. So
this is gonna get way weird in a minute. I just want y'all to know it.
Well, we're gonna get there in just a second. I just want to share this quick story. So one of my clients, she's a fairly new client, but somebody I'd met years ago, and she says, I need some help. And I'm like, okay. And she's telling me what she's dealing with, but her knees were swollen and she was wearing a brace because she was in so much pain. So I said, would you be willing to try the Kemp Relief Cream formula? And it was at the beginning of the session. So I gave her a pump. I said, just, slather it in all over, front and back of the knee. And by the time we were done with the session, it was an energy session. And by the time she stood up, she's like, oh my God. She says, first of all, my feet quit hurting. They're not hurt. I didn't even touch her feet. And so then she started walking around and she wasn't like, she could barely walk in the office. She actually left feeling so much better. She forgot her knee brace at my office and had to come back the next day to get it. She's like, I am in love with that cream. The difference it's made for me is like, Shelly, she says, I can't even tell you. None of the doctors I've worked with have been able to really get me out of pain. What they want to do is surgery. I'm buying a couple bottles of that. So that would be the Kemp CBD oil herb relief cream. and they have 6 different products. Now for the fun stuff.
Y'all, I apologize in advance. This is like, I don't know. This one's new to me. I don't know.
All right.
She about to go off.
So I actually heard about this years ago. Now, the thing I'm going to share with you guys, like we all get like really personal in spaces that can be kind of like
personal. Okay. Keep your mind out of the gutter.
Well, okay. When we know this is a PG program. So I've had lots of surgeries through my life. And I've had a hysterectomy, and then I've had 4 laparoscopies. And what that is I've been cut inside my belly button 4 times. And then I've had 8 foot surgeries on my left foot, 2 ankle reconstructions, and then 1 on my right foot, and some other things. So
yes, I remember us having you scoot up and down 3 flights of stairs when we lived in Wisconsin. That was a nightmare.
That was awful. So no surgeries are fun, right? And so when you look at traditional Chinese medicine and how the meridians run, north and south, there's a bladder meridian, and there's the triple warmer meridian, the lung meridian. So I have there. Okay, so there's this place called Brain Body Yoga. For those of you who are familiar with them, they talk a lot about Bellybutton Healing. Now, this particular book is by Ilchi, and I'm probably
not Itchy from Fried Green Tomatoes.
So your belly button is your center point of your body, and I'm like, okay. So as I've been doing some reading and researching on Bellybutton Healing, so I get this kit.
Oh God.
Oops. I get this kit.
Uh-huh.
And this is Bellybutton Healing.
It looks like an IUD at the bottom there. Yep, right there. Yep.
I've never seen one. Okay. So, and I'm reading through the book, and it talks about that it promotes blood circulation, warms the abdomen, increases the body's temperature, improves digestion and excretory functions, relieves pain and tension in joints, and there's several other things. And I'm like, okay, so guess what, folks? Guess what I got Friday?
Oh my God.
Okay, button tool.
Mom, before you start going off, what are the statistics on this? And like, wow. Oh God, how do I say this? How long have people been using this in other areas, and what are the proven statistics that this effectively does all that?
So you guys can easily go online and look this up, and it'll give you all that information. But it's been around for centuries, years, hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And so this particular guy did a study, and he is a visionary humanitarian, New York Times bestselling author, and has remarkable self-development and natural healing methods embraced by millions of people worldwide. He is the founder of Brain and Body Yoga, the Brain Education Method, and Earth Citizen Movement. For more information, you can go to bellybuttonhealing.com. Now, part of my interest in this, for those of you who don't know, the heart of my business is digestive health and colon hydrotherapy. So I'm always looking at what does the body need for that next step or that next level of healing. And a lot of us women have had lots of, whether it be endometriosis. I can't tell you how many women have come in that have had hysterectomies or abdominoplasties, and all of that affects your internal workings of your organs and how things are going to function or not function. And so finding this book and finding out about the yoga place has been we'll just say it's been an eye opener. Okay.
So
Nicole was like, well, okay, Mom, well, how does this work? And so
now I lost my shit.
And I'm like, okay, well, let's do a demonstration.
Demonstrate away, sister. Demonstrate away.
One of the things that I have learned is you have over 70 different microbes in your belly button. They tell you not to, like, there's things inside there. And if you're going to clean your belly button, just to kind of clean out around the outside, because the tissue and skin is really tender in there. And so you can actually damage it. So I'm going to stand up.
Oh, God.
And so they say that to do is like, this would be my poo pack.
Poo pack is the official term for belly button that my dad used to say. And I think it's Polish. It could be something he just made up.
It is Polish. Well,
okay.
Well, it really is a for real thing, right?
Okay, yeah, so it's Polska.
Yeah. So at some point you want to use the end of this. You put it on the belly button, not in the belly button. And so you're pressing and you're working with breath work as you're doing this. And if like for me, you've had like a lot of surgeries and you would use this end and
push it real good.
That's what Grandmama would say. So she knows she's here today. And you keep pumping it, and you can pump it up and over, and to affect different organs and stimulate the body's own immune system. So next time we come on next week, I'll let you know how this actually is going to go. So I'm actually super excited about it.
Jennifer says, interesting, just looked it up, intrigued. It looks like it helps unblock stagnant blood and energy in out gut health. Makes some good sense. Stimulates the navel.
Woohoo! Thank you, Jennifer.
Stimulate it, girl. Stimulate it.
So stay tuned for next week because we'll have a little more information.
And a lot more stimulation.
I'll let you know how my week went.
Oh, God.
if you know what I mean.
Education and stimulation.
Yeah. So I'm about self-care. I always say gentle baby. You know, like you want to treat yourself in a gentle way and not be harsh and hard on yourself. And in those moments that you feel like crashing and burning, like allow yourself that space to go there. You don't want to stay there forever. And if you feel like that might happen, that's when it's really great to phone a friend and say, hey, I need some help right now. Yeah. Or can you just like come over, hold my hand, or can you I just need to talk. I don't want to even hear you say anything to me. Just let me say what I need to say. And because a lot of times when someone honors, sometimes when someone honors that space for you, it allows you to actually see what's going on so you can move through it. You can't go over it. You can't go under it. It'll help you work right through it.
You got to work through it. And I think that's the hardest thing to do is to recognize that you do need help. And I think the second hardest thing to do is to find the right people who can help. Mm-hmm. And reach out to the right people. And, you know, you have your friends and that's perfectly fine, but your friends don't necessarily know how to get you through. And, you know, saying you're going to get through it and you're strong or you're the strongest person I know. It's like, yeah, that's why I'm breaking down right now.
Well, and I think when people think you're strong, they don't think you need support or help in any way. So you're kind of like left out there by yourself. Trying to figure out and deal with it. And not that wouldn't be part of your MO anyway, but just knowing, like, even having somebody reach out to you and say, hey, just checking in with you. I love you. You know, that type of thing can be huge.
Yeah. And that's something I'm really working on. I'm actually working down my friends list and, you know nothing. There's a lot of people on my friends list that I don't know. And I just want to make sure that everyone's okay in these times, especially because I personally have not been. So if, like, I'm not okay. I know others are suffering. And like I said earlier, like I had 5 conversations going on at once. People are struggling. People are hurting. And they just want someone to be there and to listen and to just know that they have someone that has their back. Because as I was telling the kids yesterday, you can be surrounded by 100 people and feel alone, and there is no worse feeling in the world than knowing that you're surrounded by 100 people and feeling like you only have yourself. And that's, that.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. So did you want to take a commercial break, my dear? Did you want to take a commercial break, my pretty?
You are on something today.
You know what? I got a chance to do one of my favorite things today, and that's
These are a few of my favorite things. Blah, 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 blah.
So I wanted to get out into nature, and my Native American side of me loves to do ceremony in a way of giving thanks and gratitude for what's been given to me and all that I have, because in the world of even things that are going on, I don't want to focus on what I don't have, but be in a space of gratitude for what I do have and for how I've been provided for. And so my intention today was to get out for a walk. So, and this I didn't share with you. It's like I sat in my car and it's like, do I really want to go out for a walk? Can I just sit in my car and have it be okay?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I literally
You're out of the house. It's okay.
Well, and it's such a gorgeous day. So I'm like, all right, I had my bag of tobacco and my sweatshirt, and I actually brought a blanket and found this tree that I really love. It's a willow tree out by the water.
So 1 second, I want to explain that Native part of us. So when we bring tobacco, that's offering to the universe of gratitude for what has been brought to us. So, and you never, like for us, when we go hiking and we see a cool rock or we see something that we want, we leave tobacco or we leave a piece of us. So like I have missing hair back here because I would cut hair and give that as thanks, as gratitude, because I wanted a rock. So when my mom says offer tobacco, that's a sense of gratitude back to the universe for giving us what we have.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I was going to go by my tree that I had spotted, and there were people there. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to be over there. And then I found this place by the water and saw this bird poop. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to be there. And then I found this space, and so I'm just like in the sun like this. And then I'm like in one of the body brain exercises, they were doing like the feeling of the energy. So I'm like playing with the energy and feeling it and just allowing my body to free flow with what was like how I felt I should be moving. And so when I found my center of all of that, I brought out my tobacco, and of course I go north, south, east, west, heavens above, earth below, and just like blow in for what I'm grateful for. And then it was really interesting because as I would go to give my thanks, the wind would actually carry it out of the palms of my hands. So I thought that was super cool. And so then when I was finished with that, I went and laid down with the sun kissing my body, and I don't take time to do that. It was just so great to do that. So that's why I'm in the space I'm in right now. So
awesome. Still shush, stop barking. So yes, let's see. My nature is the fact that I'm out here and taking advantage of the fact that I'm out here and going hiking. So love hiking, and yes, we always bring tobacco and cedar and leave it for those before us. So
awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I am your local empowerment coach, mind, body, and spirit, as we've been talking about for quite some time. And as I was saying earlier, mindfulness, how are you? You have to recognize where you're at in order to realize where you even want to go. Mm-hmm. Self-love and acceptance. Oh my, I'm sorry, guys. They're working on our roof and they've not finished yet. So if you hear pounding, sorry. And then stepping into your power. And then it kind of continues a circle. So when you feel empowered, you feel fantastic. You feel like you're on top of the world. But then there's moments where you're like, oh crap, like everything's going to crap, or I'm not feeling good, or, you know, someone said something to me, or I'm feeling insecure in this way, shape, or form. And then you have to start back at mindfulness and really take ownership. And I say step out of yourself and look at yourself, because we have our spiritual being and then we have our physical being. And so it's really important and essential to be able to remove yourself from what's physically going around in the world around you and in your world, because I firmly believe we create our own world. If there's drama in your world, there's something that you're doing that's perpetuating drama. If there's happiness in your world, then there's something that you're doing that's perpetuating happiness. So, you know, but in order to honor those spaces and get into that happiness, or get into the vortex, as Abraham says, you have to realize who you are, who you're being, and how you're showing up for others. And if you're not showing up for others in a loving, giving, serving way, then your life and your world around you is not going to be loving, giving in any way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. And then self-love and acceptance. So once you realize who you're being and how you're showing up for others, filling those spaces, because I go through a lot of exercises on realizing how you're showing up for others. So then we fill those spaces with what you can do for self-love and care today. Even if it's just one thing, such as getting up and taking a shower, that is at least one thing that you didn't do the day before, especially when it comes to mental health and mental wellness, and owning that and praising someone for that, because that is a big step for a lot of people, is just get up, take 10 steps and get in the shower, and it's okay. And then, you know, sometimes they're like, that's it? It's like, what? Do you want to do something else? Yeah, give it to me. All right, let's go. Okay, well.
Okay, now it's time to brush your teeth.
So, you know, just for me as a coach, it's not about big leaps. You're going to get those big leaps. It's about honoring where you're at, knowing that it's okay, to just kind of be in the minutia for a little bit, recognizing it. And then we're just going to take baby steps. Some people are ready for big jumps. Some people are ready for, all right, let's shower and let's brush our teeth. And then they're like, what do I do now? Well, if you want to go back to bed, go back to bed. If you're ready for something else, you let me know what you think you're ready for. And I'm going to challenge you, and I'm going to push you a little bit. And then, you know, once you overstep those hurdles, then we're just going to go full force. But it all starts with mindfulness in who you are and how you're showing up, loving and accepting yourself, and then standing in that power. Because once you do stand in that power, and once you've been through the first few cycles, you can then, mindfulness is a trigger, and it's like, okay, yeah, I've been here before. I know I'm going to get through it. But having that team behind you to help you get through it.
Yeah. So people can reach you at your Phoenix's Rising.
Yeah, phoenixes.rising.20@gmail.com, or you can just grab me on Facebook Messenger. I did have a business line, but since I got a new phone, I have to switch it over. So that will be up by next week. But yeah, Facebook Messenger and or phoenixes.rising.20@gmail.
Awesome. So I'm here in Lombard, Illinois, and
she's in the Lombard. The land of the lilacs. You're in the land of the lilacs.
Well, Alacia Park's so beautiful when the lilacs are blooming. It's just so fragrant. And what we offer is holistic health for the body, mind, and spirit. So what does that really mean, and what does that really look like? So those who are struggling with what to do next in their life, or they feel stuck, or they're transitioning from, you know, one job, and they're looking at, well, I've been doing this job because I've needed to do it, because maybe raising the family or whatever the reason might be. And now I want to do what I'm authentically here to do and create for myself and for the world or my community.
Standing in your purpose.
Yeah. And so, you know, I want to begin to learn how to open up those channels or that energy so I can figure out what that is. So if you're in that space, I'm the person you'll want to call, because one of the things that I'm really good at is helping you get from point A to point C or M or Z or wherever that is for you.
ABC. 1, 2, 3. Simple as do, re,
sometimes
mi.
it is. And sometimes it takes some work because there's things that get in the way that have you not get where you want to go. And as an intuitive, or some people call me a prophet, or whatever you want to, the fecal fairy, whatever you want to call me, I don't care. So it's like I have the ability to help you get from one point to another point and create a healing template or the pathway for you to reach those goals. You can reach out to me at the number right here at 630-328-3928, or you can email the office at info@alderhealingcenter.com. So we are currently in-house, not fully operating yet, and we do see clients virtually. So if you do not live in the area, don't worry. We can work with you virtually as well. So we look forward to hearing from you real soon.
And I'm all virtual, so you can get me anywhere. I don't care what country you're in. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you are. I got you.
And I think what's really cool is the work we both do. Here, go like this. The work we both do like really complements each other. So we're here to support you in whatever ways you need support.
Yes, because we loves ya. And I love you. Ooh, ooh, this way. All right, my dears, we will be on Shelly's page next week. However, we will do a watch party on my page. So you could still comment. We won't see it on StreamYard, but I will see it on my page and I'll have it up. So are you... Now I have to put in the comments, we do not own the rights to this song.
You guys.
We love you so much. And thank you for tuning in every single week. And thank you for your love and support. Au revoir. Have a blessed week.
A big hug. Big hug. Big hug. Mwah.
Mwah. Blessed week, y'all.